We're back for a double championship card as Magomed Ankalaev defends his light heavyweight belt against the man he took it from, Alex Pereira. Dvalishvili will make his third title defense against the number 4 bantamweight Corey Sandhagen after clearing out the top 3 contenders. The number 2 light heavyweight Prochazka takes on Roundtree in a potential fight of the night that could be a title eliminator fight. We have a top 10 scrap between the number 8 ranked Josh Emmett and the number 9 ranked Yusuf Zalal. Joe Pyfer will look to pierce the top 15 rankings with a win over number 14 ranked Abuz Magomedov. Gautier remains on the card as he headlines the featured prelim against short notice debut fighter Tristan Vines. Edvin Shahbazyan looks to keep his streak going if he can secure a win over BJJ specialist Muniz. Undefeated phenom Farid Basharat returns to the octagon to face UFC veteran Chris Gutierrez, and Patchy Mix gets another crack at a win as he welcomes Wiklacz to the UFC. It's UFC 320 on Fight IQ with Vaughn. Kicking off the card, we have Veronica Hardy versus Brogan Walker. Hardy's coming off her first loss since 2020, losing to Eduardo Mora via decision, while Walker is returning to the octagon after a 2.5-year layoff and 2 consecutive losses. Hardy is the massive favorite at minus 700 with a win probability of 87.5%. The win probability calculator has Hardy as the favorite at minus 411 with a true win probability of 80.4%. The AI Fight Simulator picks Hardy to win 80% of the time, 55% via decision. Walker has yet to find success inside the octagon after winning the TUF finale 3 years ago. She's a low-volume striker with poor accuracy and practically zero ground game. Hardy dominates all the fight metrics and was coming off a 3-fight win streak before losing to Mora. Hardy is a karate and taekwondo black belt with a BJJ brown belt. Walker is a Muay Thai practitioner and also has a BJJ black belt. Ring rust is going to be an issue as is Walker's 11% takedown defense. I understand that she's a BJJ practitioner, but both Walker and Hardy's BJJ skills will probably cancel each other out, and it's going to be left to who lands the cleaner strikes and who was more effective throughout the 3 rounds. My pick is Veronica Hardy via unanimous decision. Next up, we have Austin Vanderford versus Ramiz Brahimaj. Vanderford is on a 2-fight win streak, both via KO. Brahimaj is also on a 2-fight win streak, both finishes. Vanderford is the favorite at minus 298 with a win probability of 74.9%. The win probability calculator has Vanderford as a pick'em favorite at minus 100 with a true win probability of 50.1%. The AI Fight Simulator picks Vanderford to win 55% of the time, 30% via KO. But the AI Fight Simulator also picks Brahimaj to win 40% of the time via submission. In order for Brahimaj to get that submission, he'll need to get past Vanderford's superior striking, then deal with Vanderford's elite wrestling and 100% takedown defense. Brahimaj is also a low-volume striker, and he absorbs more strikes than he lands. Vanderford basically has his work cut out for him. All he needs to do is stuff the wrestling attempts and keep the fight where Brahimaj is weakest, which is on the feet. Brahimaj is a fast worker. He gets the majority of his finishes in the first round when everyone is still dry. And it's going to be an intense first round when Brahimaj will seek that submission at all costs. But fatigue will set in and his chances will slip away as the clock ticks. This is when Vanderford will capitalize and land a series of fight-ending blows. My pick is Austin Vanderford via KO round 2. Next is Punahele Soriano versus Nikolai Veretennikov. Soriano is on a 2-fight win streak while Veretennikov is coming off a split decision win over Francisco Prado. Soriano is the favorite at minus 298 with a win probability of 74.9%. The win probability calculator has Soriano as the favorite at minus 259 with a true win probability of 72.1%. The AI Fight Simulator picks Soriano to win 75% of the time, 45% via KO. It's a bit surprising to see Veretennikov back inside the octagon after just 77 days, and this is going to be his 3rd fight in the UFC in 2025. Dude is fighting like he's stacked in debts. Everyone thought Veretennikov was going to get cut from the UFC after his shenanigans against Vanderford, but here he is again against Soriano. Soriano had a rough patch in the UFC, losing 4 of 5 as the UFC brass fed him to more seasoned veterans, but he's found his footing with a first-round KO over Medic. Soriano is a dominant wrestler who will look to build off the same game plan Vanderford laid out against Veretennikov. Soriano will use relentless wrestling to wear down Veretennikov and ultimately shut out his lights. My pick, Punahele Soriano via KO round 3. Next we have Patchy Mix versus UFC debutant Jacob Wiklacz. Mix lost his UFC debut to Mario Bautista, while Wiklacz has been in the KSW fighting the same opponent since 2017. Patchy Mix is the favorite at -310 with a win probability of 75.6%. The win probability calculator has Mix as the favorite at -189 with a true win probability of 65.8%. The AI Fight Simulator picks Mix to win 80% of the time, 40% via submission, or 30% via decision. It's puzzling to see these fighters who like to stand and bang when it's obvious that their strength is the grappling game. Wiklacz and Mix are both a mix between Muay Thai and BJJ submission specialists. While a knockout is unlikely, Wiklac's chin is very suspect, and he has been dropped several times against his fight with Sebastian Privicius. I'm sure I'm not messing that name up. And his strike defense is pretty horrible. He is a wild kicker, and he unleashes them from long range, and he does like to stalk his opponent. I think this fight is going to come down to nerves and durability. UFC debuts are hellacious, especially for a pay-per-view fight. Patchy Mix will need to smother Wiklacz and seek for that submission, which could be hard to get if Wiklacz can keep his composure. This should be a dominant fight for Patchy Mix to get back into the win column as he takes advantage of Wiklac's poor strike defense, poor chin, and lack of UFC or big promotion experience. My pick is Patchy Mix via decision. Next we have the ladies, Macy Chiasson versus Yana Santos. Chiasson is coming off a loss to a fighter that Yana Santos beat in 2021. Chiasson is the favorite at -198 with a win probability of 66.4%. The win probability calculator has Chiasson as the favorite at -175 with a true win probability of 63.7%. The AI Fight Simulator picks Chiasson to win 75% of the time, 30% via KO. Santos is better than most people give her credit for. She's an experienced Taekwondo and Muay Thai practitioner, and she's going to be looking to keep this fight on the feet where she does have the advantage. Chiasson does need to bring that BJJ game though and utilize her takedowns to keep Santos from running away with points. Santos really isn't a finish threat. The last time she KO'd someone was in 2016, so Chiasson should be able to implement her game plan and disrupt Santos' striking. My pick is Macy Chiasson via decision. Next, we have an exciting fight between Daniel Santos and Yu Sang Yu. Santos is on a 3-fight win streak, and Sang Yu is undefeated. However, this will only be his second fight inside the UFC. Santos is the favorite at -142 with a win probability of 58.7%. The win probability calculator has Santos as a favorite at -215 with a true win probability of 68.3%. The AI Fight Simulator picks Santos to win 75% of the time, 35% by decision, or 30% via KO. There seems to be some recency bias for Sang Yu after his first round KO over Jeka Saragi. But Saragi was a sacrificial lamb who lost to two of the worst fighters in the UFC roster, Weston Wilson and Anshul Jubli. This might as well be Sang Yu's UFC debut. Daniel Santos is a tough, talented fighter when he does manage to fight, as 16 of his professional fights have been canceled for one reason or another. I expect Sang Yu to come out hot early, trying to secure another first round KO, but he's going to have to manage that adrenaline dump if this goes into the second round. We're going to see if Sang Yu is really the statistical striking phenom that he is on paper, or if that's just an aberration from fighting the worst fighter in the UFC roster. The first round is probably going to be shaky for Santos, it usually is, but he always does manage to get out of it and make the adjustments and puts his opponents on their heels, wearing them down over time. My pick is Daniel Santos via decision. Up next, we have the return of Farid Basharat versus Chris Gutierrez. Basharat is undefeated while Gutierrez is on a 2-fight win streak. Basharat is the favorite at minus 470 with a win probability of 82.5%. The win probability calculator has Basharat as the favorite at minus 228 with a true win probability of 69.5%. The AI Fight Simulator picks Basharat to win 55% of the time, 40% via decision. It's been a long layoff of Basharat. The last time we saw him was at UFC 308, where he snapped Victor Hugo's 14-fight win streak. Basharat's a clever grappler, and if he manages to catch your back, it's a wrap. 5 of his 7 submission wins have come via rear naked choke. Gutierrez will want to keep this fight standing where he can unleash his vicious leg kicks, but that's precisely what Basharat is looking to prevent. And he should be able to secure takedowns against Gutierrez, who's starting to slow down in pace as of late. I don't expect Basharat to suffer from ring rust, and I do expect him to get his shot at a top 15 in the near future. My pick is Farid Basharat via decision. Next up, we have Edmund Shahbazyan versus Andre Muniz. Shahbazyan is enjoying a 2-fight win streak while Muniz has lost 3 of his last 4. Shahbazyan is the favorite at minus 325 with a win probability of 76.5%. The win probability calculator has Shahbazyan as the favorite at minus 211 with a true win probability of 67.2%. The AI Fight Simulator picks Muniz to win 55% of the time, 40% via submission. You know, if this was purely a stand-up fight, obviously Shahbazyan wins 6, probably 7 out of those 10 times just due to his pure power. But this is MMA, and Shahbazyan's Achilles heel is his grappling. With just a 66% takedown defense, once this fight gets to the mat, he struggles against better grapplers. Hell, Nusardin Imamov had him in a crucifix and was mauling him. Brunson beat him. Hermanson beat him. Anthony Hernandez beat him. Meerschaert beat him. All of these are superior BJJ practitioners, just like Andre Muniz. And it hasn't looked good for Muniz, losing 3 of his last 4, but considering who those losses were to, they sort of make sense, with the exception of the Paul Craig loss. And then there's the fact that Shahbazyan's lost 5 of his last 9 fights. His gas tank isn't that great either. His win over Prochazka seemed impressive at the time until we realized that Prochazka was just imploding like the Titanic submersible. I know I'm going out on a limb here and zagging when everyone else is zigging, but my pick is Andre Muniz via submission. Next, we have the featured prelim between Oteba Gautier and Tristan Vines. Gautier is on an impressive 7-fight win streak, all coming via KO, while Vines is making his UFC debut and stepping up on 5 days' notice. Odds haven't come out yet for this fight as of this recording. The win probability calculator has Gautier as the favorite at minus 430 with a true win probability of 81.1%. The AI Fight Simulator picks Gautier to win 85% of the time, 75% via KO. Making a UFC debut is tough. Making a UFC debut on 5 days' notice and winning is practically impossible. Making a UFC debut on 5 days' notice against a killer like Oteba Gautier is suicide. To make matters worse, Vines fought as recent as 35 days ago. That means another weight cut in about a month. Vines is a 1-2 striker with nice leg kicks and good movement the first round, but he tends to gas after round 2. He has a suspect chin and he's been laid out by lesser opponents in Gautier multiple times. My pick is Oteba Gautier via KO round 1. Kicking off the main card, we have Joe Pyfer versus Abus Magomedov. Pyfer is on a 2-fight win streak, most recently taking Kelvin Gastelum to a decision. Meanwhile, Magomedov has quietly amassed a 3-fight win streak over Michel Pereira, Bruno Ferreira, and Warley Alves. In fact, Magomed has only lost to Sean Strickland and Cal Borrallo in the UFC. Pyfer is the favorite at -245 with a win probability of 71%. The win probability calculator has Pyfer as the favorite at -197 with a true win probability of 66.4%. The AI Fight Simulator picks Pyfer to win 65% of the time, 45% via KO. Magomed has been able to mask his weakness by fighting inferior competition since his loss to Borrallo. However, his cardio is pretty bad after round 1 and it tends to plummet even further after that. Pyfer is going to have to work on his takedowns though, as Magomed is nearly impossible to take down. Magomed does like to engage in the grappling, but that would be a fatal flaw against a superior wrestler like Pyfer, who could use that position to drain Magomedov's gas tank and negate whatever advantages Magomedov had in reach. Magomedov might be competitive round 1, but his cardio is going to hit a wall in the second round, allowing Pyfer to move in for the kill. My pick is Joe Pyfer via KO round 2. Next up is a featherweight banger between Joseph Zalal and Josh Emmett. Zalal has been unstoppable on a 7-fight win streak, his most recent victim Calvin Kattar. Emmett took Lerone Murphy to the distance only to fall via decision and has now lost 3 of his last 4 fights. Zalal is the big favorite at -470 with a win probability of 82.5%. The win probability calculator has Zalal as the largest favorite of the night at -999 with a true win probability of 90.1%. The AI Fight Simulator picks Zalal to win 85% of the time, 40% via decision, or 30% via submission. You know, Emmett's not a spring chicken anymore at 40 years old. He looks great, but the gas tank is not what it used to be, and neither is his hand speed or his footwork. They say the last thing that goes is power, and Emmett still has plenty of it. And that's what he's going to need Saturday night if he expects to win, a puncher's chance. Zalal is well-rounded and has superior boxing skills, hand speed, and durability. Zalal also possesses advantages in height, reach, and age, and dominates all the fighter metrics. But what's the end game for Emmett? If he loses to Zalal, then what? It's Gene Silva? Steve Garcia? Patricio Pitbull? Those fights don't seem winnable for Emmett either, with the exception of maybe the Pitbull fight. I think this is Zalal's time to shine, and he'll be looking for a top 5 matchup after taking care of Josh Emmett. My pick is Joseph Zalal via decision. Next, we have a fight of the night potential and a certified banger between Yuri Prochazka and Khalil Roundtree. Both fighters shot their shot against their champion, against then champion Alex Pereira, but both fell short, succumbing to Pereira's devastating strikes. But Yuri bounced back with a knockout win over Jamahal Hill, while Roundtree managed to secure a unanimous decision victory over Hill a few months later. Yuri is the favorite at -185 with a win probability of 64.9%. The win probability calculator has Yuri as the favorite at -193 with a true win probability of 65.9%. The AI Fight Simulator picks Yuri to win 70% of the time, 65% via KO. I don't recall ever seeing a Yuri Prochazka or a Khalil Roundtree fight that was ever boring. Both fighters have earned numerous performance bonuses, and I hope they earn a Fight of the Night bonus on Saturday night. If they put on a show like I think they're capable of. Yuri has a real awkward style that allows him to alter his range and angles and land from unorthodox positions. And this is difficult to game plan and to train for because you literally never know what Yuri is bringing to the table next. And he does have a 3.5-inch reach advantage over Khalil and a 97% finish rate. Roundtree is sort of a one-dimensional fighter. He's purely a Muay Thai kickboxer with 0 takedowns and poor strike accuracy. Yuri is also hittable with a paltry 43% strike defense, but the only person that had his number is Alex Pereira. Someone's getting their lights turned out. My pick is Yuri Prochazka via KO round 2. Kicking off the championship fights, we have Merab the Machine Dvalishvili versus Corey Sandman Sandhagen. Merab has cleared out the top 3 of the bantamweight division, and he's now giving Sandhagen a shot at the title. Sandhagen is coming off a win over Deiveson Figueiredo after losing to Umar Nurmagomedov in 2024. Merab is the big favorite at -380 with a win probability of 79.2%. The win probability calculator has Merab as the favorite at -180 with a true win probability of 64.3%. The AI Fight Simulator picks Merab to win 75% of the time, 55% via decision. MMA math doesn't always work out like we think it should, but Merab dominated Umar, taking him down 7 times, and Umar dominated Sandhagen, taking him down 5 times. Where does that leave Sandhagen? I'll tell you where, on the mat. Sandhagen's only advantage is standing up, where he can use his range and unorthodox striking to disrupt Merab's game plan and timing, but he has not. The only one that's been able to do that to Merab has been Ricky Simon, and that was back in 2018 when Merab was this wide-eyed UFC rookie. Merab disposed of a who's who in the bantamweight division, and he's looking to dominate for a long time. With a 44% KO rate and a 17% submission rate, I just don't see Sandhagen being able to do enough to win the rounds over Merab. My pick is Merab Dvalishvili via decision. Last but not least, we have the rematch between the champ Magomed Ankalaev and Alex Pereira. Magomed stunned much of the MMA community when he dropped Pereira and secured a decision win to capture the light heavyweight belt. Pereira had been a dominant champion, making 3 successful title defenses prior to that. But it all started going downhill when he was spotted doing vlogs with Nina Drama. Ankalaev is the favorite at -285 with a win probability of 74%. The win probability calculator has Ankalaev as the favorite at -214 with a true win probability of 68.2%. The AI Fight Simulator picks Ankalaev to win 65% of the time, 50% via decision. Ankalaev is usually a chill dude, this guy doesn't really beef with anyone. But Ali Abdelaziz, he's a master when it comes to stirring up shit by controlling some of his fighters' social media accounts. And that's where this shit really got started. There was some back and forth over who did what at the Performance Institute. There's a language barrier, some weird looks, and bam, no shama. So what's going on? And what's gonna be different this time around at this matchup? You know what? Not much. Pereira's been doing more videos and more shoots of him doing stupid shit not related to the UFC, and the Nina drama is still in full effect. The only one that I've actually ever seen break the Nina drama? Merab Dvalishvili. Let's not forget that Pereira is also 38 years old. He's not winning a decision against Ankalaev, and he really does need a KO to win. But Ankalaev is too defensively sound to get caught in a fight-ending punch. I feel Pereira gave it his all the first time around, and he won't really have anything new to offer over the course of 5 rounds. My pick is Magomed Ankalaev via decision. If you like this content, please hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and as always, peace out!